Sorry about that. So we're resuming the Module 11 Part 3 notes. We have one problem left to do. My video stopped recording and I was not going to go and redo the entire thing. So we just have the last question left, which is to find the middle 50% of IQ scores. So the key word in this problem is middle. So this means we're trying to find the probability that 50% of the IQ scores are between two numbers. So I'm going to start by drawing my curve. So steps 1 and 2. And as I had said before, I'm going to draw it kind of big, and this is where my video stopped before. So we're going to try not to let that happen again. So there's one very important thing to remember about the bell-shaped curve when we're doing a problem like this, and that is that it is symmetric, which means whatever's happening below the mean is happening above the mean in equal proportion. So I'm going to label my mean, and I'm going to color in the middle 50%. So I'm going to start at the middle, and I'm going to shade 50% of my curve moving outward. Okay, and I'm going to draw a couple of boundaries for me here. Again, as I've said with these, it is not an exact science on how much or how little to shade. Yes, you could find the exact proportions that you need, but this will work for what we need. So we're looking for two z-scores. We're looking for a z1 and we're looking for a z2 because it's a middle 50%. So we have a little bit left over on either side. So what I've colored in, let me do this first, otherwise it's all going to turn green. What I've just colored in is 50%. So half, which means over here, this unshaded bit and this unshaded bit combined equals 50%. So again, remember our curve is symmetric, so I can use that to say, okay, this little bit down here is 25%, and this bit up here is 25%. So I'm going to use that to then go and find my z-scores. Okay, and I am going to run out of room, but that's okay. So we want to use our inverse norm. And we're going to have to do this twice. We're going to have to do it for z1 and for z2. So I'm going to do z1 first. So the area to the left of z1, I just labeled is 25% or 0.25, 0, 1. So that gives us negative 0.6745. So that's our z1. And then I'm going to do my inverse norm again for z2. So the area less than z2 is the middle 50% plus the area less than z1. So it's 0.75, 0, 1. So z2 is positive 0.6745. With a between question like this, your z1 and your z2 will always be the same number, but one will be negative and one will be positive. And that's because we're looking at a middle percentage, and this is a symmetric graph. So whatever's happening below the mean is happening above the mean in equal proportion. So this middle 50% that we ended up shading is really 25% from the mean to z1 and 25% from the mean to z2. So it's the same amount of area shaded on either side of the mean. So now we can use these to go forward and find our x1 and our x2. And I said I was going to run out of room, and I am really running out of room. So using the same equations that we've been using, our x1 is going to be 89.8825. 89.8825. And our x2 is 110.1176. So 50% of people have an IQ score between 89.8825 and 110.1176. So that concludes this last problem and the Module 11 Part 3 notes.